Hey everyone, it's Matt, aka Tech Ranger, and today we're going to be taking a look at one of the coolest weapon mods I've probably ever used for Fallout 4, and that is the MK18. There is a certain amount of customization that comes with it, but I found that the customization in this one is pretty crazy, and there's even a version of this mod that combines an Armory project which includes even more customization. There are a lot of flavors of this mod, but in this video we're going to be looking at the 2K versions, the compressed and uncompressed versions, which include the quest as well as how to integrate it into your leveled list, and then we're going to look at the MK18 and the Armory mod combined, and the pros and cons of using one mod over the other. So if you like this video and you like to see more of this stuff, definitely feel free to subscribe. I do a lot of Fallout 4 and Skyrim mod videos, as well as some fun Xbox gaming videos that can be helpful, as well as some streams. So if that's something you're interested in, or if you just get some value out of this video, leave a like down below. And now let's take a look at how to use the MK18 for Fallout 4 on the Xbox. Now the first part of this video is going to be all about these 2K versions of the MK18. Now there doesn't seem to be a particular difference between the two other than one is bigger and the other is smaller, so feel free to use whichever one you want, but this is going to give you the ability to have a quest and then have some options about how you go about the quest. So you can do that, go right into choosing how you craft and integrate into the level list, or you can just skip to the normal part and just have the weapon in your inventory. So if you went ahead and downloaded the 2K version or the compressed version, you're going to be able to do this quest, and it is pretty cool for what it is. This is going to take you to the bottom half of the map where the glowing sea is, just FYI, so you might want to pack some radiation gear. It took me a little bit to actually get here since I didn't have anywhere to fast travel to, but if you do, the journey part of this quest is going to be a lot shorter for you, obviously. So there's actually a landmark pretty close to where the bunker is. That is this downed flight here, the Skylines Flight 1665, and then this way it's just a short run from there. Unfortunately, it is also the highest radiation part of the glowing sea. You start getting really deep into it and you might get into some fights along the way. But you'll eventually reach these barracks and get ready to fight a lot of rad roaches. So maybe bring a pistol, this way you can move through the barracks fairly quickly. There is a lot of room clearing if you want to do that, but you can just follow your marker and go straight for the objective. You can go through that first door and you'll come to a hallway. You'll see that there are things to loot in the different rooms, but there are a lot of rad roaches, and there's also a lot of soldiers who are skeletons by now. What ended up happening, I'm not going to show the entire thing here, but you can your imagination run wild, which is kind of cool that they included this in this mod, that you can go through this place and try to figure out what happened, and then at the end you have your MK18, which is your reward. At the end of that long hallway, just take a left and then a right, and then you'll be on your way to where the final area is. Oh, and you do fight some more rad roaches at the end too, by the way. The MK18 is going to be on that wall over there, and then once you pick that up, it's going to bring up your menu and then give you some options on how to integrate it into the leveling list. But there's also a firing range too if you want to test it out. So now let's take a look at all the crazy customization options for the MK18. So in this example, I took it back to Sanctuary because that's where I have most of my materials, and then you can go to the weapon bench and you'll notice straight off there are a ton of options for this weapon. There are different frames, there are scopes, there's handles, there's rails, there's stocks, there's all these things that you can actually change, as well as actually change the damage on the weapon like most weapon mods usually do. You can even change the charging handle on the weapon. I mean, how cool is that? I didn't even know that's a thing, but apparently it is, and this is what it looks like. There are a lot of really cool options here, but one thing I did notice were the reload animations. There's actually some alternate ones as well as some standard ones, and I thought it was interesting the distinction between the alternate reload and the regular magazine reload. Now, since we're using the MK18, the 2K version, this does not include the MK18 Armory, which is actually a separate mod that has a lot more options, but we'll come back to that mod because that's actually something that you can also craft is the Punisher variant. This thing's pretty cool. It's black and white, and it gives your weapon a really cool two-tone look while also sporting that pretty cool Punisher logo on the magazine. And if you're wondering if you can customize a weapon without losing some of those really cool details, kind of like what you can't do in a game like Warzone, well, it turns out you can actually change a lot of these details and still retain the look of the weapon. I did find one really weird quirk with this mod, and you can't actually do a full reload if you go to 0 on your mag in first person. If you go back to third person, you can, which is kind of a quick fix, but also a pain if you're in a firefight. So I searched online, found this gem. So I couldn't find a definitive answer on that, but you can try pulling out a hunting rifle and reloading with that and see if that fixes the bug. Apparently this is tied to like the camera, so it isn't something that is easily fixed, but it seemed to happen only with this mod, and I haven't had any trouble with any other weapon mods. There is an option, if that freaks you out, you can install another version of the MK18 mod with the Armory, which gives you a lot more customization. The only caveat is that you're not going to get that quest and the level list integration. So let's take a look at that. So the combination mod, the MK18 and the Armory mod, this is pretty great because it's under 100 megabytes, it saves you that space, but it also includes everything in the MK18 except for the quest mod, but you do have some extra customization options. You just won't be able to put that in the level list, so like if you take out an enemy, you're not going to be able to pick up an MK18, but that's okay because you're going to have your own. Another one of the new additions with this Armory combo mod is the fact that the reload animations in the 2K versions were actually the quick eject versions. When you choose the standard or default option for whatever magazine you're choosing here, you'll notice the reload is a little bit different. Looks cooler in my opinion, but it's up to you, personal preference. So to wrap it up, you're going to see more handguards, you're going to see more attachments. The rail attachments are the same. You can pick like certain attachments for the rails, like flashlights and things, and then also some lasers, and then you can actually choose how the lasers actually interact on your gun, whether the beam's always on or not, which pretty cool. But some of this stuff is also standard on the MK18 mod itself. So the Armory adds some really cool things in this combination mod, but isn't totally necessary. But that is about 100 megabytes sweet. So with how much mod space you have, you might consider using one over the others that we looked at the beginning of this video. Just keep in mind that reload bug. So in conclusion, the MK18 is a really cool weapon mod to use however you want to justify it being in the game, whether it's something the Institute came up with or if it's just something you want to use. The amount of customization and how you can use the MK18 in your game is really neat, and I think it's one of those weapon mods that you can tell everyone involved with creating this mod really wanted to make it stand out from the rest. So thank you so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want to see more of this stuff, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye everybody, have a great rest of your day.